A patient at Mayo Clinic is in desperate need of a new heart. He suffers from a rare heart condition, the very one that killed all 4 of his brothers and at very young ages.
He's already had 1 heart transplant, but that was 15 years ago. He's now awaiting a donor again. ABC 6 News reporter STEPH CROCK visited with him at Mayo and shares his emotional journey.
Well, when I was 5 in 1974, my oldest brother collapsed and died at school at the playground. He was 12 years old.
Losing a loved one is one of life's biggest heartbreaks. Ernie Balcueva had to go through it 4 times growing up.
My second oldest brother collapsed playing soccer.
I tried to resuscitate him again, but this time he didn't make it.
We all had varying degrees of mitral valve prolapse, and so they thought, well, you know, we can medicate this and work around it like that.
After numerous checkups and those precautionary measures, Ernie then lost his youngest brother.
They had found my little brother. He had collapsed in the night while he was doing his homework and passed away.
An unimaginable time for the Balcueva family. Ernie's dad, an internal medicine physician himself, was floored.
My frustrating is not being able to find out what we can do to save their lives.
My last remaining brother and I went to Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, and we were outfitted with implanted defibrillators. And they thought, well, you know, if you go into an arrhythmia, this will shock your heart back to a normal rhythm.
That brother's defibrillator fired twice, but didn't save him. Ernie's only living brother had 2 collapsed.
It's depressing a lot of the time when I think about it, but it's not. You know, I have a lot of great memories with my brothers, too.
Ernie's family is very unique. They have a cardiomyopathy, a heart muscle disorder that leads to sudden death.
Ernie has since gotten a new heart and went roughly 15 years with no problems, until now.
15 years later, this is the first major obstacle I've had, and so it's, you know, it's time to replace the heart.
If we can get 15 or 20 years out of a transplanted heart, we'd consider that a success.
He's now been in the hospital for 5 months, waiting for a transplant.
What the doctors were telling me is that 83% of the hearts that come through that are a good match for me in every other way are not going to work because of the antibodies that I have built up.
Still, his doctors remain hopeful.
I'm convinced he'll do well after retransplant.
And surprisingly, so has Ernie.
A lot of people ask about that, you know, how do you deal with it, or, you know, if I'm scared or anything. It's just life, you know, everybody's got problems. This is mine.
Ernie and his dad credit their thick skin to the outpouring of support from friends and family across the globe, and most importantly, their incredible sense of humor.
I'm as positive as my son.
I honestly think it's just having a good sense of humor about what life throws at you.
Now, Ernie also has an adopted sister and 2 sons himself. A scholarship was created in honor of his 4 brothers. Now, one thing both Ernie and his dad, you saw there, wanted to stress was the importance of being an organ donor. Attached to this story on our website, KALTV.com, we have a link where you can register. Live in our newsroom tonight, STEPH CROCK, ABC 6 News.